Happy New Year and welcome back to Just a Conversation or Jack. Thank you so much for spending your new year with me. I'm Montrell. Let's just get right into it. In our last episode, I shared a story with you on listening, of being open to the signs and messages life is sending us. I shared how a chance encounter and five simple words, you have something to say, began to unlock a dormant door within me. Today, I'll share what was created from those five words. After connecting and exchanging numbers with the young lady I met at the coffee shop, life went on as usual. Here's a little background. For about the past 6 years, I haven't used an alarm clock. I let the heavens above wake me naturally. Like I like to ease into the day. Most mornings I'm up by 7 a.m. But of course, there are times, a lot of times, when I've been awakened in the stillness of the early hours between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. I'm that person that once I'm up, I'm up. But I've learned to embrace it and spend those moments in quiet connection with the Holy Spirit. Each morning, I like to start the day in nature, walking on the trails, surrounded by the trees and the sounds of life waking up. It's my sacred space, my sacred time. It's how I ground myself, find my center. Now, this particular morning, I woke up around 6 a.m. I spent my usual time in prayer and reflection, and then I headed out for my walk. The walk began like any other peaceful, calming day for me. I was on the trail, taking in the sounds and feeling the space of it all. I talk a lot, with the Lord while I'm there, letting the world fall away. But this day, as I began heading back from my walk, something was different. Like it felt different. Then I heard a voice. The young lady I had met days earlier, I heard her. I heard her saying, "You have something to say." At first, I dismissed it, thinking that, it was just a memory of our conversation coming back to me. But the voice grew louder, repeating, "You have something to say." By the fourth time, I started feeling a little irritated. I thought to myself, I don't have anything to say. Like, what does that even mean? But the voice kept on, each time becoming clearer and more insistent. By the sixth time, I was frustrated. Like I shouted out loud, "I don't know what you mean. I don't have anything to say." But as I neared the end of my walk, I slowed down, like my pace slowed. Like I knew a new answer was coming. One last time I heard her voice louder than ever. I heard, "You have something to say." This time, my response was different. Instead of frustration, I felt excitement, and the clarity was rising up within me. And without hesitation, I said out loud, yes, I do have something to say. The moment I acknowledged and accepted, the floodgates opened, like the words began pouring into my mind, clear and vivid, undeniable. Like I could see every sentence, every line, as if they had been waiting for this exact moment to be released. I ran back to my car, heart racing with excitement, and I hurried home. The moment I got inside, I opened my laptop and started typing, letting every word flow out of me without hesitation. I released it all, let it all out. Then, in the middle of the rush of inspiration, I heard another voice. This time, it was gentle yet firm. It said, call Brenda. And just like that, the next step in my journey had expanded and became clearer. What happened next? Well, that's where today's story ends. In our next episode titled Obedience, I'll share how following that voice, the call to obedience, unlocked a path I never could have imagined. I want to thank you for joining me for this episode of Just a Conversation. If today's story resonated with you, I encourage you to reflect on your own journey. What signs have you been hearing, but maybe not fully embracing yet? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who it may resonate with. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time, remember, listening is the first step, but acting on what you hear, that's where the transformation begins. I'm Montreal, and this has been Jack.